Hey everybody, Dustin Dale's back here at the Funny Bone Comedy Club, 168th and Dodge, and it's going to be a fun weekend this weekend. This guy, he's been all over TV. You've probably seen him, you just didn't realize. It was Bobby Slayton. Bobby, how you doing, bud?
Fine. I'm very uncomfortable with you holding the mic. I'm used to doing this. So if you want to ask me a question, nobody really cares what you have to say. I'll just repeat the question and answer it, okay? But, okay, go ahead. Fire away. I'll show you.
You started comedy in 1977, right? How was that?
Oh, my God. Thanks for making me feel old. You started something. You did your research. Oh, my God. Was it 77? Yeah, it was 77. I started out in San Francisco and opening for bands. You know, I know nobody else wanted to do it. Robin Williams was starting to get pretty popular. It was right when he got about Mork and Mindy. And then Dana Carvey and Kevin Pollak were a bunch of babies. They didn't want to open up for these rock bands, so I got stuck with doing it. And that's kind of how I got the Pitbull of comedy thing. You know, it kind of, it was like, you had to get the audience before they got you. It was like kill or be killed. Mm.
Yeah,
I know you want to hold this. Go ahead.
You were talking about some bands. I'm very curious. How is it opening for bands when you're doing comedy?
It was never easy for anybody. You know, Albert Brooks had done a famous bit about opening for Richie Havens and how everybody timed their drugs to the headliner, not knowing there was a comic on. You know, it was never easy, but in San Francisco, because I was working there a lot, I started out there. You know, I'm from New York, so you know, a lot of people knew me from morning radio. And if it was an easy band like Eddie Money, or the Greg Kinn Band, or Huey Lewis, or a band called the Tubes, where they got sort of not too primitive, animalistic of an audience. But then open for some, you get a little cocky, and they open for a couple of punk bands, and it wasn't easy. But, you know, Ray Charles was okay, Warren Zevon, where you get semi-grown-ups and people that aren't too drunk. You know, the audience was good for like 15, 20 minutes. If you did any more than that, you were in trouble. And if your name wasn't on marquee, then people really got ticked off because they weren't expecting you at all. At least if your name's on the marquee, they go, I'm going to have a drink, I'm going to go to the bathroom, I'm going to smoke a cigarette, a joint, whatever, you know, and then we'll miss the comic. But when those lights go down, it happened one week with Eddie Money, July 4th weekend at Caesar's Tahoe. And, I mean, it went fine, but, you know, it takes a minute or two. It can be a very scary minute or two.
You don't see that much anymore. I know that there was, when Reba McEntire, for instance, when she would do it to her, she would take the comedians on her TV show with her. Is there any type of acts anymore that open up for bands and comedy-wise?
I don't think so. I think those days are over. I mean, you know, in Vegas, a lot of my peers would open up for Cher or Sinatra or, you know, middle-of-the-road acts. My act was always a little too blue or dirty or controversial or over the top or whatever the hell you want to call it, politically incorrect. I never thought it was that dirty, but, you know, a couple of four-letter words or, you know, you had to keep it squeaky clean, and I had a reputation.
One of the movies that you did actually ties in kind of well with the music world. You did the Rat Pack.
I did the Rat Pack, yeah. That was great because I was a big Vegas fan when I did it. So it was an excuse to read every book about Sinatra and Dean Martin and Joey Bishop and the Rat Pack. So that was great. That was a great experience.
Did you grow up listening to the Rat Pack?
No, I was a little too young for that. You know, I mean, it wasn't my kind of music. I grew up with the Stones and the Beatles, you know, like you grew up probably with Menudo and New Kids on the Block.
Yeah, Menudo was my thing.
And Garbage Like Journey. But, you know, I grew up with I mean, I hated Sinatra until I think I was probably in my 20s or 30s. And same goes for Elvis. I mean, I'm such a fan, but, you know, I missed that generation, the 60s, that kind of music. And I always thought, like a lot of people in my generation, that Elvis was kind of hokey. And even Elvis knew he was. You know, when the Beatles came, you know, that generation of music was going out. Now everybody realized years later how great the guy was, you know. So that's going to happen to me. Nobody realized now I'm alive how good I am. But when I'm dead, you know, this interview, people will be watching it over and over and over again.
I got a feeling about 10 years after he goes, Bobby Slayton's going to be the name around town for comedy. That's what I'm feeling.
Okay. I'm feeling that too. I'd like to feel it now rather than then, but okay.
Now, you've got a very unique voice. As you can tell, he's got a very unique voice. And you may have actually heard him on Family Guy. What's it like doing voiceover acting?
It's great because you don't have to memorize anything. You just look at the script and you don't have to get dressed up, you know. So you have to just, you know, wear whatever you wear and wear your sweatpants and do it. I love doing that kind of stuff. I don't do much of it now because they use so many big celebrity voices. But I've done a lot of cartoons.
Well, was there a cartoon that stood out to you as maybe your favorite character to play?
I was the original Mickey Mouse back in the 40s. No, I don't know. No.
I was like, whoa, I missed that headline.
No, you know, I did more obscure TV cartoons, more obscure animation. I did like a lot of voices for commercials. I think McDonald's, I was a polar bear for McDonald's for the McFlurries or something. And I don't know where they got my voice for. They thought I'd be good for a polar bear, but, you know, I guess I was.
Now, was the Family Guy and those kind of voiceover roles, did you have to audition for that, or was that kind of something they picked up and said, hey, Bobby, come give it a shot?
You usually got to audition, but sometimes they just listen to your voice tape. But usually you have to audition. It's a pain, you know. You audition along with a million other people. I was the voice of the Pink Panther in a pilot for CBS that nobody ever saw.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you fibbing me again?
Well, no, really. No, I was the voice of the Pink Panther. They did a pilot that was a lot like, it was after Roger Rabbit came out. And when they really perfected that whole animation with live action. You know, they'd done it before, of course, you know, with, you know, in a lot of movies. But they really perfected it with Roger Rabbit, so they did a pilot where the Pink Panther was the only animated character and everybody else was live, you know, live action. And they listened to every voice actor from LA to New York. Every character actor, every busboy that wanted to be an actor, everybody. And they couldn't find the voice of the Panther, and they thought it was too cliche that the Panther have like a Pepe Le Pew, David Niven, Sean Connery, James Bond voice. So they used mine. By the way, my voice is given out after morning radio today. I gotta take care of this. I used to do a lot of voice exercise, and I don't anymore. And the wine doesn't help because alcohol just dries it out.
Did you fake that voice, or did you just do your normal Bobby Slayton?
For the Pink Panther?
Yeah.
And I did my voice, and it was great because it was the exact wrong voice coming out of the Panther.
Oh, nice. Because I know a lot of times when I talk to these voiceover actors, they all kind of go into a little voice of some kind, and I always just kind of curious. But yours is so unique.
No, just do my voice. I don't do any character voices. Either you want me or you don't. That's it. I mean, they've asked me to do voices. I go, well, you know, why don't you get a voice guy? I don't do voices, you know? Well, you know, what?
Would you rather do voice work, or would you rather do on-camera work?
I'd rather do nothing. I'd rather just sit by my pool and barbecue.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm tired of this. But if I ever do something, the Omaha Funny Bone, I took the whole summer off. And I was not in any hurry to get back into stand-up. Anyway, it's not the stand-up so much, it's the traveling. Like this club here, the Omaha Funny Bone, is a great club. And it's one of the few clubs that has good wine, good food, which is, you know, the club is right next door to the hotel. The hotel has a lot of good restaurants. But just the travel, even though it's not that far from LA, it's just such a pain in the butt these days, you know, and living out of a suitcase. I'd just rather be home. I'm glad I'm working. A lot of guys my age aren't even working anymore, so it's good.
What is a highlight of life on the road? Is there a highlight at all that sticks out to you that you do enjoy about it?
Hookers. No. I wouldn't even know where to get one of those. A highlight of life on the road? Yeah, the paycheck at the end of the week. I mean, there's no highlight. I mean, it's a fine job, you know, and there's worse places to be than Omaha. You know, I mean, I get here and I had one of the most amazing Italian meals last night. Pasta more and, you know, and this pitch has good pizza, you know. And it's funny how you can just go anywhere now. Go to Kona Grill, there's good sushi, you know, and even though we're nowhere near an ocean.
Yeah.
But, you know, you get good food everywhere. To me, that's the high point, is eating good food.
Eating good food is definitely something you can do here at the Funny Bone. There's a whole menu of good food. I'm telling you, there's not a bad thing on the menu. Plus, you got great comedy all weekend long. Bobby Slayton is his name. You definitely want to come check him out. He's got some specials up you can check out as well. All sorts of great stuff. Bobby Slayton, thank you for hanging out with me, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. No, that'd be better to do.
Take care, guys.